Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I will be talking about how your mind is secretly creating your life and how you can take control. But before we get into this video topic, I invite you to click the link shown in the description area below where you can download the ebook or freebies relating to this topic. Now let's get started. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to live a full life of health, happiness, and success, while others are struggling no matter how hard they try? The answer might surprise you. It's not luck, it's not fate, and it's not something you were born with. The secret is it's in your mind. Yes, your mind, the place where every thought, feeling, and decision originates, is quietly shaping your life every single day. The mind is like an invisible architect. It constructs the blueprint of your body, your experiences, and even your destiny. Think about it this way. Your body is more than just flesh and bones. It's a reflection of your inner world. Every ache, every illness, and every feeling of fatigue is connected in some way to what's happening in your mind. Anxiety, anger, fear, and resentment don't just weigh in on your mood. They affect your physical health too. On the other hand, joy, courage, love, and positive thinking strengthen both your mind and your body. In short, mental habits shape your health. A disciplined, constructive, and pure mind becomes a shield, protecting you from both physical and emotional suffering. But what is even more interesting is that life is something you are constantly creating. Every thought sparks an action. Every action, repeated over time, becomes a habit, and those habits, when stuck together, shape your character. Finally, your character, which is the combination of all of your choices and habits, it determines your destiny. In other words, your future isn't predetermined. It is carved daily through your thoughts, actions, and discipline. This doesn't mean that life will always be easy. Far from it. Many people get trapped in a hopeless way of thinking, believing that life is controlled by karma, fate, or some external force beyond their control. That kind of thinking is dangerous because it convinces you that you are powerless. The truth is, karma is not a cage. It's raw material. The challenges of life, such as hardships, mistakes, and setbacks, these are tools for growth. They are opportunities to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. If you consciously direct your thoughts and actions, you can transform your life no matter your circumstances or background. Science backs this up. Modern neuroscience shows that your thoughts have a direct effect on your nervous system. When you think negative thoughts like fear, jealousy, or resentment, your body releases stress chemicals. These chemicals weaken your organs, slow your healing, and even affect your DNA. On the flip side, positive, constructive thoughts like gratitude, compassion, or courage, these trigger chemicals that heal, energize, and protect your body. Essentially, you are literally becoming the image of whatever occupies your mind the most. Now you might be thinking, so if my mind is shaping everything, does that mean I have to be perfect all the time? No, not at all. The key isn't perfection, it's awareness and direction. Start by noticing your thoughts. Are they constructive or destructive? Do they lift you up or do they pull you down? Awareness gives you the power to choose. And every time you choose a thought that strengthens you, you're taking another step towards the life you want. Let's put this into real-world terms. Imagine two people, both facing the same hardship, losing a job, for example. The first person thinks, "This is terrible. I'll never recover. Life is unfair." They allow fear and resentment to dominate their mind. The stress chemicals triggered by these thoughts affect their body, cloud their thinking, and limit their opportunities. The second person facing the same situation thinks, "This is tough, but I can learn from this. Maybe this is a chance to find something better." Their positive, resilient thoughts energize them. They take deliberate action, seek opportunities, and emerge stronger. Both persons experience the same external event, but the difference in their minds determines the difference in their outcomes. This brings us to the concept of adversity. Most people see difficulty as a barrier, a reason to stop or to complain, but adversity is actually a catalyst for growth. Facing tough conditions forces you to develop resilience, endurance, and humility. Meanwhile, comfort and luxury, while enjoyable, can actually weaken your character because they reduce the need for mental discipline. The challenges of life, whether that be poverty, illness, or social obstacles, they are like a gym for the mind and soul. Every time you face difficulty and respond with courage, patience, and wisdom, you are strengthening your mental muscles. So, how do you take control? How do you start consciously shaping your life with your mind? It begins with small steps. First, practice awareness. Notice your habitual thoughts, especially the negative ones. Then consciously replace destructive thoughts with constructive ones. For example, if you notice jealousy rising, instead of indulging it, focus on gratitude or self-improvement. If fear shows up, ask yourself, what action can I take right now instead of giving in to panic? Next, pay attention to your habits. Thoughts alone are not enough. They must translate into action. Small, consistent actions create habits, and habits form character. Character is what keeps you steady when life gets unpredictable. This is where self-discipline comes into play. Discipline isn't punishment or deprivation. It's about creating a life that aligns with your values and your highest visions for yourself. You also need to understand the power of emotional states. Your emotions are signals. When you feel anger, fear, or anxiety, it's your mind telling you something needs attention. Learn to respond instead of reacting. Transform negative emotions into lessons or motivation. At the same time, cultivate positive emotional states such as joy, love, gratitude, and courage. These emotions are not just nice to feel, they are literally life enhancing. They help your body heal, your mind focus, and your actions become more effective. Another important factor is the way you interpret your environment. Many people blame circumstances for their failures. If only I had grown up differently, or had more money, or lived somewhere else, my life would be different. The truth is, your environment is secondary. What matters is your mind's response to it. You can take identical circumstances and produce wildly different outcomes depending on your mental approach. One person sees poverty and sees opportunity to innovate. Another sees the same poverty and feels hopeless. Mental resilience and willpower are what transform challenges into opportunities. It's also essential to understand the ripple effect of thoughts. One thought leads to another. A positive thought can ignite a chain reaction of productive actions, helpful habits, and empowering character traits. On the other hand, a negative thought can spiral, creating destructive habits, toxic emotions, and weakened health. This is why mental discipline isn't optional. It's foundational because the life you live tomorrow is being built by the thoughts you are entertaining today. So, what does a practical daily routine looks like for someone who wants to consciously create their life through their mind? First, start with mindfulness. Spend time each day observing your thoughts without judgment. Notice the patterns that serve you and those that don't. Next, cultivate constructive thoughts deliberately. Gratitude, journaling, visualization, affirmations, These aren't just feel-good exercises. They literally reshape the wiring of your brain. Then translate those thoughts into deliberate action. Every small positive step compounds over time into habits, character, and ultimately your destiny. It's also important to understand that setbacks are not failures. Life is constantly giving you information. When things don't go as planned, instead of labeling it as defeat, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I respond and grow? This shift in mindset changes the entire pathway of your life. Remember, the mind is not a static thing. It's a dynamic and powerful creator. Every day, every thought, every choice contributes to the life that you are living. If you leave your mind unchecked, it will default to habit, fear, and societal conditioning, which often leads to a mediocre or an unhappy life. But if you harness it consciously, your mind becomes the architect of a life full of health, resilience, and purpose. Now let's touch on something that might surprise you. That is the connection between your mind and your physical health, that it is biological. Studies show that negative mental states like anger, anxiety, and resentment can actually damage organs and weaken your immune system. On the other hand, positive mental states such as optimism, love, and compassion, they improve your heart function, enhance immunity, and even slow down aging. You truly are becoming the image of what you think about most. Your mind isn't just creating your life in abstract or mental terms. It's literally shaping the chemical and electrical environment of your body. This brings us to a critical point. Nothing is wasted. Every thought, action, and experience becomes a building block for your future. Even mistakes and failures can become fuel for growth. If you've struggled in the past, that doesn't define who you are. Your past thoughts and actions are raw material. The moment you take control of your mind, you can start transforming that raw material into something extraordinary. So, how do you maintain this conscious creation over the long term? First, develop self-awareness. Check in with your thoughts regularly. Second, maintain emotional discipline. Train yourself to transform negative emotions into constructive responses. Third, build habits that support your highest goals, such as daily exercise, mental focus, learning, and deliberate action. Fourth, cultivate resilience. Understand that setbacks are part of the process and use them to strengthen your mind and your character. And finally, embrace the mindset that life is a creation. Everything you experience is either an opportunity for growth or a reflection of your current mental state. The more consciously you think, the more intentionally you act, and the more extraordinary your life becomes. Overall, what I've been saying so far is that your mind is the ultimate architect of your life. Thoughts generate actions. Actions create habits. Habits form character, and character determines destiny. Adversity is not your enemy. It's your teacher. Your mental approach is more important than your environmental factors. Positive thoughts and emotions strengthen both mind and body. Negative thoughts and emotions weaken them. Every day is an opportunity to consciously create, shape, and transform your life. You don't have to wait for some external miracle or luck or the perfect opportunity. You have all the power within you right now. By training your mind, focusing your thoughts, and aligning your actions with your highest goals, you are literally designing your destiny. Every choice, no matter how small, contributes to the architecture of your life. So take a moment right now to ask yourself, what have I been allowing my mind to create? Are my thoughts and my emotions serving me? Or are they unconsciously shaping my life in ways that I do not want? If it's the latter, remember, it's never too late to start. Every single day, you can consciously choose thoughts that empower, actions that align with your goals, and habits that build character. Your mind is always creating. Make sure it's creating the life you truly want, because here's the ultimate truth. You are not your circumstances. You are not your past. You are not what others think of you. You are the creator of your own life, and it all begins in your mind. The question is, will you take control? Will you consciously design your destiny, or will you let life just happen to you? The choice is yours. Start today. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for now. Once again, I invite you to check out the website shown in the description area below, where you can download the ebook or freebies relating to this topic. And if you enjoy these types of topics, please press the like, subscribe, and share buttons below to receive notification when new videos are posted to this channel. Thank you for watching.